What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great not Taco Tuesday, damn. Thirsty Thursday. You know, I'm getting old. 58. You start getting a little bit of dementia here. So forgive me. I will make mistakes, and I do all the time. All right, so the Denver Broncos, which has been a disaster. You know what's funny is I'm old enough to remember when people were calling and saying, we need Sean Payton. Fire Mike McCarthy. Buy him out. Get Sean Payton. Get Sean Payton. With the Super Bowl. That Denver Bronco team, you know, from the time he ended up, you know, with the whole Hackett thing and throwing him under the bus, you know, when you put somebody on blast like that, you better come out like gangbusters. You better come out like, I'm serious. You got to go ahead and show them. Bam. In the same way, Mike McCarthy getting rid of Kellen Moore, because you said we could do it better without Kellen Moore. If Kellen Moore comes in and the Chargers offense looks night and day better than the Cowboys, that's your ass. That's your ass. Regardless of those. Shout out to Wade. Wade sent me a link from, I think, Pro Football Talk. I didn't actually watch it. The headline was enough. Was Jerry Jones wants a Super Bowl, but won't make the moves to get there. And you have to say, that's kind of the case. When you think about what the Eagles did last year, you know, they didn't win the Super Bowl, but they got damn near close to it. They were about as close as you can get. You know, a couple of plays here and there, they win the Super Bowl. They didn't do it because of who they drafted solely. They didn't do it solely because of coaching. They did it because all of the above, including, oh, that's my inspector. Including going out and getting guys. They did. They went out, they got players, they got people that they needed, and they made a run. You could look at the Rams, who went out and got Matthew Stafford along with all these other people. You could look at Tampa Bay. You can't just win through the draft. And this year's draft has been horrible. I'll be back. Pardon me, sorry. You know, I double up here. So the inspection passed, which is great news. But back to what other teams have done. Other teams have gone through and said, we're good, but we got to get better. So here's my thought. My buddy Wade is like, you know, he's like, we got to just blow the whole thing up. We just got to blow it all up and start all over. And you can do that. But here's my thing. I had an Aunt Mabel. Aunt Mabel was a school teacher, and she had a certain attitude. She had a grandfather clock that stopped working. And before she called the people to work on it, she went through and she took the whole thing apart. She said, if I'm going to pay somebody to fix it, they're going to really have to go through and fix it. And so I look at this right now, where we are right now. We know, you know, we've got a decent team. Right? It's just not quite enough to compete with everybody out there. You look at the Eagles. Now, we do compete well with them. We own them for whatever reason. They had more talent than we did last year, but we split games. We're not ready to take on San Francisco, although I think part of San Francisco's problem, the reason why we have such a hard time with them is it's mental more than anything else. It's psychological that they have to get over the hump of that. So be that as it may, if you're going to say, we're going to hit the reset button, before you do that, say, screw it. We've tried everything else. Let's push the chips all the way in. Let's go ahead and try and make some trades. Denver basically says, we're open for business. So there's Jerry Jeudy, there's Courtland Sutton, There's guys like Patrick Surtain. You know, you could look and say, you know what? We're just going to go all in. Just screw it. We'll deal with the ramifications later on because we're going to blow it up anyway. Let's bring in as much talent as we can and try with what we have left. What do we got to lose? What do we have to lose? If you're going to blow it up anyway, if you're going to just say we're going to hit the reset button and move on from Dak, because honestly, here's where you are right now. If you say we're not going to get another contract for Dak, we're going to move on. Okay. I can understand that. I might not agree with that. I can understand that. That means that you're going to be trying to get Trey Lance ready to go. There's no guarantee that Trey Lance is the guy. There's going to be a learning curve. You're starting all over. Or if you say, we're going to try and draft somebody, you're going to have to take that drafted quarterback and coach him to be able to go. You're not going to be a winning team once you do that. I pointed out yesterday what happened to Washington when they got rid of Kirk Cousins. They have a litany of quarterbacks, and the production that they've gotten from quarterbacks is a hell of a lot worse than what the production from Kirk Cousins. Be that as it may. You're starting over anyway if you're moving on from Dak. So why not? Because I could probably say Cowboy fans would be okay if we went all in right now, won a Super Bowl, and then we lost for a couple of years. I think we'd be okay because we could finally get that monkey off our back. Jerry Jones could finally get that one more win before he goes to the pearly gates or the burning inferno or wherever he's going. And we could stop hearing this stuff about how bad we are. But back to that piece that I didn't watch, that I don't need to watch. And it's true. I don't have to watch it. It's 100% right. Because what the Cowboys will do is try and shine shit. They will make moves too late and tell you it's a great move. Brandon Cooks, I don't know. Right now, Brandon Cooks doesn't look like the guy who's gotten 1,000 yards everywhere. Stephon Gilmore is not bad. He's definitely an upgrade over Anthony Brown, but you would have thought by the way we brought it in, or where they sold it, that he was still the defensive player of the year. We penny pinch and make moves. We sell it to us and make us think that it's great. And then reality sets in that it's good, but it's not great. So, as the trade line deadline is here, and here's where we can actually look and say, the Amari Cooper trade paid dividends immediately on that season. It turned that season around. And maybe that's what the Cowboys need to do again. Go all in. That's all I got to say about that. So, in the meantime, going back over to Red Brick House and do some work and things. And I will see you soon.